My name is Marissa Richardson, and I'm a program coordinator for the Westchester Library System. Today I'm going to talk to you about the program Pull Up a Chair at the Library, discovering services that could benefit you now. And this is a service referral for older adults. Yes, so quick facts about Westchester County, where I started this program. There is 949,000 people and 113 people in the county as of 2010, and most of that population is centered in South Westchester, so that is Yonkers, that is Mount Vernon, New Rochelle. And 14.7% of those people are age 65 plus. Now 7.1% of that population is unemployed. Now remember, there's a lot of stereotypes about Westchester County because it's a bedroom community and many people commute from New York City, that it is an affluent community. But as we can see that this is not true. The the stereotype in many cases that celebrities live here, such as Molly Ringwald and Beyonce at one point lived here, but that's just not true. So we see the map here. We have northern Westchester, which is the stereotype is it's more affluent. So we have Somers, we have Tarrytown, we have North Salem. And then we have southern Westchester, which is made of New Rochelle, Yonkers, Mount Vernon. And southern Westchester is what I want to focus on mostly because it is more urbanized and more considered the urban part of Westchester. And once again, we know that the stereotype is that many people who are affluent live in this county, but we know that that's not true. So this program was sponsored by AARP Foundation. And what AARP Foundation did is they reached out to Westchester Library System and asked for programming for adults 50 plus. Now, you know you get your AARP card in the mail on your 50th birthday, which to some cringe, but for the AARP Foundation, they wanted to know how they could offer services to lower income people who are 50 plus. They also worked with city development as well. So the older population, older adults in Westchester County. So that's a very unique population because there's a number of roles. This is where you get the sandwich generation, where you have people who are both caretakers for their children and caretakers for their parents. You have people who are parents, you have people who are possibly grandparents. You have people who are either working or retired. In my program in particular, I had a lot of people who were filing for disability and the like. So our question was, how do we deliver services to this population? And part of that was, if we have a number of roles, if we have a number of economic situations that these people could be in, what exactly would be our deliverance of services? How would we get to those people? Okay, so with the foundation grants, the Westchester Library System hired a program coordinator to begin this program, and part of that is learning about the Westchester community and what could be offered in that community. So we took a lot of common issues that many people who are lower income face, and we looked at organizations that could possibly have that. And with that, we created the program, Pull Up a Chair at the Library, discovering services that could benefit you now. So that's a service link for older adults, 50 plus. And what we decided to do is offer a help desk in a library the idea of it would be that this help desk would be a compassionate, non-judgmental place and would offer assistance in the following subjects. So we have jobs. Once again, we're talking about people who are either working, underemployed, retired, or looking for a job. Health, this program began on March 2nd, so that's during tax season. So many people were facing anxiety over being fined for not having health insurance and asking what they could do about that. Family, we're once again talking about possible caretakers for both children and parents, so we did that. Housing, we're talking about people in the lower income region who have been renting their entire lives. If they perhaps can't make their rents or perhaps need to find better accommodations, that's what we reached for. So location, we decided to do New Rochelle Public Library, and that was the setting of Pull Up a Chair. So what we did was we set up a table and 2 chairs and had the program coordinators sit there with their computer at the ready to answer any questions that somebody might have. Now, the reason we did this is because it's centrally located. New Rochelle has a very high foot traffic. We're talking about people who are walking everywhere, who do not necessarily own a car. We're talking about people who also are dropping off their children and not necessarily utilizing library resources. So those are the people we wanted to get to front and center. So that lobby was really central to the success of the program. So the reason why we did that is because the 4 subjects mirror the 4 legs of a chair. Once again, I want to hone in the idea of a welcoming, non-judgmental environment. These people are ashamed sometimes of their situation. They feel very belittled, sometimes that they don't necessarily know how to solve their problem. So what we wanted to do, the main focus was that these patrons were met with compassion and referrals to assist them. And there are many service referrals that model this in places such as San Francisco, Denver, and Houston, which we definitely want to utilize. So these are the services that helped in Westchester County. We have Westchester Independent Living Center, which is for people with disabilities, and they have a pilot program right now that is 2-year called the Senior Supportive Housing Network. That is for patrons who are 55 plus who with disabilities. There's various local food banks. A big lifesaver is we have Hope Community Center right in that area, so we could tell people to get dinner and breakfast there. There's the Pace Women's Justice Center. Many people came with us with legal situations, and the program coordinator sadly was not a lawyer, so could not necessarily help with that. But the Oasis House, which is right down the street from the library, that was very helpful as well. There's the Department of Social Services for housing and for health. And there was the Senior Benefits Information Center, which is run by the award-winning Westchester organization, Westchester Senior Speaking Out. And what that program offered is Medicare counseling, which is very informative and very important for many people. There's also WestCop, who mainly works with people with disabilities and with veterans to offer housing and jobs. So we couldn't do this without help. So what we did is we did outreach and collaborations. So what we did is we did flyers. I did a radio show, a press release. There was outreach to the Westchester County Office of Aging and the Senior Benefit Information Center. So what I did is I worked with the volunteers for the Medicare counseling and reached out to them. So if they had situations regarding Medicaid or regarding housing, they were coming to me. So these are the questions that we got. So a lot of people wanted to know about jobs in the area. A lot of people wanted to know about benefits that they could use. And if anybody is interested, there is the link, there is the website My Benefits Checkup, and that is a general website that asks very little information and could give you an idea from your income and from your situation what benefits you could receive in the state of New York. Now, what was also interesting is, once again, we began this at tax season, so a lot of people were looking into health insurance options who had no income. And what we did was we referred them to the New York Health Exchange. And the New York Health Exchange has a 1-800 number where you can begin that process of filing for Medicaid if you wanted to verbally with a person on the other line. You get an actual person too. It's very interesting. Now, there were some challenges to the program, of course. There is visibility. Beginning of the program, we started 2 nights in the lobby, but we wanted one other night in a second floor room, just so people could have privacy while reaching out to organizations. And we quickly found out that that necessarily wasn't ideal. There was location, of course. We wanted to know what kind of location we would put out. Putting on applications, when I took people through my benefits checkup and told them that they were applicable for certain benefits, they wanted those applications immediately. And that could be a challenge. Application assistance was also a problem. Many people needed assistance, many people at a low literacy level, and we needed to deal with them. Language, once again, our program coordinator had some language barriers as well. So solutions, there were solutions to the challenge. Visibility, what we did is we had a table originally with a red tablecloth with AARP Foundation on it. And many people made the mistake that this was AARP Foundation tabling, and they came to the program coordinator and asked to renew their membership, and quickly found out that they couldn't. So we quickly got a blue tablecloth that said pull up a chair at the library. Location, since the one night that the program was in a room, we necessarily couldn't have that. So we moved all nights to the lobby, once again, front and center. Everybody sees you. You are the first line of contact when you come into the library. So for printing applications, first we had to put out the grant money to purchase a printer, which was very helpful. We could print applications right then and there. Application assistance. What's cool about New Rochelle Library is they have an in-house social worker 3 days a week. Now the difference between the social worker and this program is that the social worker was there during business hours, and this program was reached out from 5 p.m. to 7:45, which is good for people who are working, good for people who necessarily cannot get to that service at that time. Translators were made available if needed. The clerks at New Rochelle Public Library were very helpful in that. Application assistance. Once again, people needed assistance with Medicaid, SNAP, and housing. And the program was not built to handle it because of liability. The program coordinator necessarily could not assist with the applications. So they were quickly referred to the in-house social worker, and that was a further utilization of the New Rochelle Public Library's resources. So once again, these resources that I'm talking about. So what was good about New Rochelle Public Library is that they already had many resources available for them. So what they had was they had the WEBS program, which is geared towards people who are 50 plus. What they have is a program centered around Second Act careers that takes you through an 8-week course about how to look at your resume, how to look at your cover letters, and how to do mock interviews, things like that. We also have the Senior Benefits Information Center, which was good for Medicare counseling. It was good for looking at somebody's situation and saying this is what would be best for you. So there's also the job search coach. The New Rochelle Public Library has a job search coach there every Tuesday who has worked in human resources for a number of years and is wonderful. People come in there constantly to look at their resumes and cover letters. There's also, once again, the in-house social worker that is there 3 days a week for application assistance. Expansion. So since the creation, Pull Up a Chair at the Library has serviced 60 people in in-depth referral service, but 100 people have been educated in relevant library services. So seeing somebody front and center at the library like that and having your first point of contacts, it was very quickly something that could potentially promote library services. So many people would come to the program coordinator and ask, what services do you offer? And the program coordinator would tell them about library services. And this program has since expanded to the Yonkers Riverfront Library, and that's located in downtown Yonkers and offers a very high traffic flow, very high traffic volume. And as the grant closes, the program coordinator will be recommending a running wiki for the individual libraries to offer referral services. So the main thing that I wanted to get in with this program is to offer a compassionate hands to many people who are suffering from situations related to their problems. And so what happened is there was one patron who wrote this letter to Robert Astorino, who is our county executive. And I think this really hones in what we were trying to do with this program. And he says when the sign says pull up a chair, two things fall into place. One thing is that you're welcome to their home, and the second is that they want to hear your plight or story. Both are close. The common denominator is H, hear, or help. And in that case, help is what I needed. And he received help. And as the program coordinator, if one thing is for certain, if this program influenced people and helps people in this way, then it really was all worth it. I mean, because of this program, many people learned about services related to their community. And this is a program I'm very proud of for that reason. Thank you all. If anybody has any questions, you may email me at mrichardson@wlsmail.org, or you can contact me at 914-231-3275. Thank you everybody for watching, and you have a lovely day.